This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Tuesday, the 27th day of May in the year 2025. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here is what we're tracking tonight. 3 Spanish-speaking men suspected to be Venezuelan nationals are wanted by the police over the bomb attack on the East Ranville police outpost and the GPL substation 2 weeks ago. No one was seriously injured in the late-night blast, but damage was done to the back gate and a section of the fence of the police outpost. The Guyana Police Force today issued wanted bulletins for the 3 suspects. Police investigators have not confirmed the names of the men, but were able to get photographs of them. Questioned about their nationalities, the police force's public relations office would only say that the men are Spanish-speaking. But news source understands that at least one of the men may be a Brazilian national, while it is suspected the other 2 are Venezuelans. Over the past 2 weeks, investigators have been reviewing CCTV camera footage from a number of businesses and homes in the area from the night of the attack. There has been growing concern about the Venezuelan migrant population in Guyana and the true identities of many of those who have sought refuge in Guyana. It is estimated that there are more than 50,000 Venezuelan migrants now living in Guyana. More news coming up in just a moment.
It all starts with one. Maybe it's one look, you know the one, or one touch, even one word. It can start with one step, or one promise, one thrill, one first time, one deep breath, one leap of faith, one day to remember, or one night to forget. One moment, so many stories that make up one crazy, average, everyday, fabulous life. We get one life, just one. Make your move. It all starts with one.
Your own home is so much more than just 4 walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
The Ministry of Education wishes to announce that the Because We Care Cash Grant and the Uniform and School Supplies Grant will begin distribution from May 12, 2025. Please note, however, that distribution will begin later in May and in some cases June for certain regions. Therefore, we encourage all parents and guardians to consult the published distribution schedule to confirm when their grant will be available.
So, what's being given this year?
The grant has been increased to $55,000 per child. This includes $50,000 for the Because We Care Cash Grant and $5,000 for the Uniform and School Supplies Grant.
Who qualifies for this grant?
All public and private school learners from nursery year 1 to grade 10 who are registered and attending school are eligible. In grade 11, only students who will register for CAPE grade 12 in September qualify, along with current grade 12 students who will be continuing to grade 13. For children entering nursery this year, they must have been registered by March 28, 2025.
How do I collect the grants?
The parent or assigned guardian of the child can uplift the grant at the child's school. Just make sure to bring a valid form of ID, your national ID card, passport, or driver's license.
What if I don't have any of those IDs?
No worries, your identity can be verified by a senior official in your community, such as the school's principal or village tushao.
Suppose I can't go myself to collect it. What then?
You can authorize someone else to collect the grant on your behalf.
What happens if I miss the date?
If you miss the scheduled date at your school, a later collection date will be announced, but this will only happen after the national distribution is completed, so it's best to collect it as scheduled if possible. Got more questions? Check the Ministry of Education's social media pages or contact your child's school for more information. In service to you, because we care.
In an independence address to the nation on Sunday night, President Irfan Ali announced that general elections will take place on the 1st of September 2025. The elections will take place exactly 1 month after the president celebrates his 5th year in office. The president is now expected to issue the proclamation soon to dissolve the National Assembly, as the country will swing into full election mode. In a statement moments after the president's announcement, the General Secretary of the governing PPP, the Vice President Bara Jagdeo, welcomed the announcement of the election date. Mr. Jagdeo said his party, the People's Progressive Party, is ready to deliver its message of continued progress to the people of Guyana in the upcoming elections. He said since returning to office in 2020, the government hit the ground running, and they have not looked back. Mr. Jagdeo said in the face of a global pandemic, the government acted decisively, expanding COVID-19 testing, securing life-saving vaccines, reopening the economy, and restoring essential public services. He said within just 40 days that they passed an emergency budget to remove burdensome taxes, support vulnerable groups, and revive critical sectors of the economy. Mr. Jagdeo said the PPP government has exceeded its 2020 manifesto by listening to the needs of the people and taking decisive action. He said the party's re-election campaign will focus on its plans to build on the party's strong foundation in office. Meanwhile, the People's National Congress reform-led APNU did not immediately offer a response to the announcement of the election date. However, in its Independence Day message, the PNC said as Guyana observes its 59th independence, the country is faced with mismanagement, corruption, and incompetence, and the acts of political domination and oppression under the current PPP. Now let's tell you that the opposition-nominated commissioners on the Guyana Elections Commission have accused the chairman of the Elections Commission, retired Justice Claudette Singh, of unilaterally advising the president on the date for the general and regional elections. The three commissioners said the president's 1st of September date for the elections has fallen outside of the last election work plan submitted to the full commission by the chief election officer. At the joint press conference this morning, the three opposition-nominated commissioners contended that it was not until the announcement was made that an updated work plan reflective of the date announced by the president was submitted to the commission. The chief election officer had previously indicated that September 22 was the earliest possible date for the conduct of elections and had produced a work plan to reflect that date. Election Commissioner Vincent Alexander said the election commissioners were caught off guard with the president's announcement on Sunday night.
While recognizing that it's the president's prerogative to determine the election date, it is crass for him to have done so based on the purported chairman's guidance, which clearly misrepresented the CEO's projected date of September 22nd, and the fact that even the proposed date was still under consideration and not yet agreed. This is reflected in GECOM's draft minutes of September 20th, 2025. This contrived and baseless date is just another instance of the manner of conduct of GECOM and the nation's affairs under the chairmanship of Justice Claudette Singh, in conjunction with the Chief Elections Officer and his cohorts.
Alexander said a cursory review of the latest work plan indicates that the timelines have been compressed to fast-track the electoral process. It has reduced the previously estimated time frame by 21 days, he noted.
Those changes have affected the timelines traditionally used for claims and objections, submission of the list of candidates, among other requirements, and even statutory deadlines, as in the instance of the time provided for appeals by parties in relation to the list of nominees.
Weighing in on the issue, Election Commissioner Charles Corbin said statutory timelines are now severely affected by the new plan. Citing an example, Corbin pointed to the issue of claims and objections, in which only 3 days have been allotted for claims and an additional 2 days for objections.
We have never had a claims and objections period in an election cycle that is less than 21 days. 14 days for claims, and it is followed by an additional 7 days for objections. In the current proposal, what you may describe as an expedited plan, 3 days are allocated, so that if you allow, it means that this will have an impact on the electorate, and those are things that you have to correct. But that is not laid down in legislation. These are customs and practices.
Additionally, he said the amount of time allocated to contestants to prepare for nomination day is of major concern. According to Mr. Corbin, parties will have just 4 days to prepare their nomination list of candidates once the official list of candidates is released. Statutorily, parties are given 30 days or months to prepare their list. The implications, he said, may be grave for small and new parties.
Now, what is being proposed is that you have 4 days. So while someone coming up will have 4 days between the time when the list becomes available and nomination day. So while the elephants will be able to respond, meaning the big parties, because they're all there in the election machinery. So the PNC and the PPP and the big parties will be able, if you give them 4 days, 1 day, they can be able to respond because they're in the business. But what about the other contestants? Are we open? And that is what we need to focus on to ensure that in terms of openness and compliance, that the playing field is level.
Further, in the absence of enhanced biometrics, the Commission was discussing a number of alternatives to guarantee free and fair elections, the 3 commissioners said. They noted that those include the deletion of the names of the deceased voters from the list based on reports submitted by the police and the chief medical officer, as provided for as a result of the amendments to the Representation of the People's Act, and the highlighting of the names of overseas Guyanese on the voters list, thousands of whom are deceased. The Guyana Elections Commission met today to discuss an election work plan that was submitted to the 7-member commission more than 18 hours after President Irfan Ali announced that general and regional elections will take place on the 1st of September. Prior to Sunday, the Chief Election Officer Vishnu Prasad had advised the Commission that the Elections Commission would not be in a position to hold elections before the 22nd of September. But by Monday afternoon, the commissioners received a revised election work plan, which they say reflected the date announced by the president. The work plan has reduced the previously estimated time frame by 21 days. Just before entering this afternoon's meeting of the Elections Commission, government-nominated Commissioner Says Gunraj said he received the revised work plan this morning. He said it is the Commission's intention to have the revised work plan approved.
The plan is this afternoon, of course, is to discuss that with a view of approving and executing that in keeping with the date set by the President.
The opposition-nominated commissioners at the Elections Commission say they are concerned that the expedited work plan could severely affect the well-established statutory timelines. But Mr. Gunraj said the Constitution allows for election to be held within 90 days.
Well, I can't I can't speak for the chairman and what she would have said and what formed the basis of her advice, but the Constitution basically contemplates elections to be held in 3 months or 90 days, and the time frame that has been set by the president, that is to say the 1st of September, is in excess of those 90 days. And as a consequence, I believe that GECOM will and must be ready to hold elections on that date set by the president.
Gunraj said it is the president's prerogative to set a date for elections. Unlike the opposition-aligned commissioners, Mr. Gunraj said he has no concerns with regards to the new timelines and GECOM's ability to meet them.
90 days, I believe, is more than adequate to comply with all of the timelines, comply with the statutory provisions, and logistically to execute the elections on the date set.
The GECOM commissioner said elections in Guyana are constitutionally due this year, and the Elections Commission has been in preparation mode for a while. He said it is now for the Elections Commission to execute.
GECOM is currently conducting a national registration exercise. Who can register? Anyone who will be 14 years or older by June 30, 2025 and is a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, naturalization, or is a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more. Where to apply for registration? You are required to visit the GECOM registration office that is responsible for the registration of persons in your area of residence to apply for registration. Office hours, Monday to Thursday, 8 to 12 and 13 to 16 hours 30. Friday, 8 to 12 hours and 13 to 15 hours 30. The offices will be closed on weekends and holidays. You need to apply for a transfer if you now live at another address since you were registered. This registration exercise will end on May 30, 2025. For more information, contact the GECOM on 225-0277-9 or visit www.gecom.org.gy.
New York City, summer is about to get hot. Saturday, August 2nd, SR Hamilton LLC presents Gospel Infusion. Featuring Samuel Medas, Psycho, Eddie Neblett, Sean Daniels out of Trinidad, Carlvin Burnett, Christelle Brandt, Sherilyn Maloney, DJ Kesta D, and many more at the South Jamaica Multi-Service Center, 11402 Guy R. Brewer Boulevard, Queens, New York. Gates open at 4 p.m., showtime 5 p.m. Get your super early bird tickets for only $50. General admission $70. Pay more at the gate, and limited VIP $100 all inclusive. Come and experience the outpouring of God's grace Saturday, August 2nd. For more information, visit Gospel Infusion on Facebook and Instagram.
Your own home is so much more than just 4 walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Need small appliance for your kitchen? Giftland have it. Need fridge or stove? Giftland have it. Speakers or laptop? Giftland have it. I'm telling you, Giftland have everything. And don't get me started on TVs. 58-inch, 65-inch, 70-inch, 75-inch. All sizes in leading brands. Best thing about it, they give me warranty. Man, Giftland is the place for all your electronics purchases.
Washi. Hi people, washing made so easy since I found Washi. Washing me use wash me clothes and I can say Washi soap powder wash clothes so nice. Washi soap powder leave your clothes color bright. Washi soap powder leave me clothes smelling nice, of course. So give thanks to Washi soap powder for doing my laundry right. Keep my clothes color bright, have my clothes smelling nice for sure. I could not ask for more. Comes in lemon and original. It is a washing machine in a pack. Wash your soap powder, wash clothes so nice. Wash your soap powder, leave your clothes color bright. Wash your soap powder, have my clothes smelling nice, of course.
Distributors located in the Stabrook Market.
Billionaire Guyanese businessman Azruddin Mohammed, who remains sanctioned by the U.S. government, has officially declared that he is running for president of Guyana, after months of speculation that he will join the presidential race. Mr. Mohammed's announcement came one day after the president announced a date for the elections. In a recorded video posted last evening to his social media pages, Mr. Mohammed did not say if he will launch an actual political party or when, but would only say he is contesting the presidency. He described his move as a march to save Guyana.
Our march to change Guyana will not be long now. I have seen my people oppressed and I want more for them because Guyana deserves better. Standing on the shoulders of the architects of our independence and the outpouring of public demand, I am stepping forward today as a young man with a vision for a new Guyana. It is with great honor and humility that I officially declare my candidacy for President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana in the upcoming elections this September 1st, 2025.
Mr. Mohammed, along with his father and businesses, were sanctioned by the U.S. last year. Government Permanent Secretary May Thomas was also sanctioned. The Guyana government has distanced itself from the family. In recent months, there has been a back and forth between the government and the family over reports of unpaid taxes. Mohammed said he's putting his shoulder to the wheel so that every Guyanese can get justice and enjoy wealth and not persecution.
Now more than ever, we need an independent nation with people-centered leadership that can transform the lives of its citizens forever. But leadership that serves only itself will lift only a handful of people while offering crumbs from its table to the masses. $100,000 is not a fair share for citizens of an oil-rich nation. The answer to genuine love for Guyana is in the heart of every citizen. We must reject tribal voting and embrace a new vision.
The businessman, who has been engaged in philanthropic work over the years, has been garnering support from different communities across the country. With his presidential bid now announced, Mr. Mohammed is calling on the international community to be vigilant.
We call on the international community to stand watch, to ensure that democratic values prevail and that the voice of all Guyanese, regardless of their race, class, or political affiliation, are heard, respected, and empowered.
The businessman has not released details of his election campaign. President Irfaan Ali is promising Guyanese greater financial inclusion and independence, explaining that much work has already been done to increase the disposable income for Guyanese. Addressing the independence flag raising ceremony in Berbice on Sunday night, the president said his government will look at financial reform to ensure more citizens are included in the financial sector and are financially independent. He spoke about the future prospects of the country's energy sector, saying that while the government has been working to ensure every Guyanese benefits from the sector, much more has to be done to ensure that every Guyanese benefits.
And of course, the financial transformation is critical for the modern Guyana that we are building. Greater financial inclusion and financial independence for all is a priority of the future, so that we can increase disposable income, so that we can support the vulnerable segments of our population, including our children, women, and the elderly.
President Ali said while there is more funding now available for persons, more has to be done at the community level. He noted, however, that could be achieved faster if more work is done to transform the country's financial system.
We have to transform our financial system so that we can create more business opportunity. We can deploy more capital at every level of our community, including government-backed investment, the creation of a national development fund, financial reforms that would lead to capital market reforms, banking system reforms, innovative investment instruments, and making it easier for you to own your own vehicles.
According to the president, while much has been done on the tax front, more still needs to be done. To this end, he proposed a further reduction in the personal income tax and creating a digital payment platform that will make doing business easier.
The future also requires economic transformation, which includes economic diversification, expanding the economic base of our country so that we can build our competitiveness, we can build our global competitiveness, not only in the energy, the oil and gas sector, but in every sector of our economy.
The president also noted that the government will continue to support traditional sectors of the economy, including rice, sugar, gold, bauxite, and diamonds, as well as quarrying. Amid fierce objection from the opposition in Caracas and growing international pressure to desist from interfering with Guyana's sovereignty and territorial integrity, the Nicolas Maduro administration in Venezuela went ahead on Sunday with its election for parliamentarians and local governors, including a governor of Guyana's Essequibo. However, Mr. Maduro's sham elections did not take place anywhere in Guyana's territory. The Maduro administration, which has been continuing claims to Guyana's territory, had vowed to proceed with the elections for a governor of Guyana's Essequibo. But the fact-finding mission to bordering communities in the Birima-Waini region by a team of journalists on Sunday found no election in progress in Guyana. There was also no evidence of any campaigning or voter registration in the days leading up to Sunday. At Paquira, a village within Matthews Ridge in the Northwest District, 26-year-old Venezuelan national Maria Rivero was dressed in a white jersey with the words "Essequibo is Guyana's." She told reporters that though she was taught otherwise growing up in Venezuela, she is convinced that Essequibo belongs to Guyana.
I know Essequibo belongs to Guyana, yeah. I live in Guyana around to 9 years already. Me get a baby 4 years. I don't want the president Maduro come here and destroy this country at all, right? There's something make I get vexed and cry about, right? Because I don't want this man come here and destroy this country. Like, we don't be beautiful country.
The young mother is now married to a Guyanese. Notwithstanding a 20-year jail sentence hanging over her head for conceding that Essequibo belongs to Guyana, should she ever return to Venezuela, Rivera remains firm in her position.
You say Essequibo belongs to Guyana? Me don't. I used to hear things, and me say Essequibo belongs to Guyana. Essequibo, the man make no sense for come and fight for land here, so for the oil, because it's the only thing he can come and fight for. The richness, the money, the gold. How much gold Venezuela get? Venezuela get enough gold, enough diamond, enough money, enough petrol, enough thing. We done with all of that. He want to come and destroy here? No, because it's only he just using the people for come and fight for he.
Meanwhile, Guyanese businessman Gregory Vincent, who has been living in Matthews Ridge for 15 years, said he is proud of his Guyanese heritage and history and knows that Essequibo belongs to Guyana.
Both myself and my employees, we are proud Guyanese, and we know that Essequibo belongs to Guyana. We will not give up Essequibo for nothing. We are Guyanese. We were born here, we was raised here, we were taught everything about Guyana, and the 83,000 square mile of Guyana belongs to Guyana and Guyanese. So we will not give up Essequibo. So we're proud to wear this jersey to represent our land.
In Arakaca, a community located 12 miles south of Port Kaituma, it was business as usual for the relatively quiet community on Sunday. The chairman of the Arakaca Community Development Council, 76-year-old John Phillips, said there is a small group of Venezuelan migrants living in the community that is heavily dependent on gold mining.
No, nothing of the sort. Nobody came, nobody said anything. We've even seen few Venezuelans, even the few that was around there, most of them moved off. So we got no problem as far as the elections are concerned and campaign and stuff like that. Everything is quiet. We live well with the few because, like I said, it's only very few of them, but we live well with them.
And Sherwin Bowen, a former GDF soldier who has been living in Arakaca for the past 45 years, told reporters that it was a normal day for the people of Arakaca on Sunday. He expressed the need for there to be greater security presence at the bordering communities, where there are high influxes of Venezuelans.
I think the border should be strengthened because there are a lot of illegal immigrants coming in, undocumented, and no system in place.
At Mabaruma, 2 police patrol boats took reporters along the Arucu and Barima rivers that form part of the border between Guyana and Venezuela. On the banks of the rivers, buildings and makeshift houses could be seen where migrant Warao largely reside, but there was no buildup of Venezuelan troops along the border. The remains of 11-year-old Adriana Young were flown to New York on Monday for a second autopsy to be done. The young child was found dead in a pool at a Doubleday Hotel in Tushin on the 24th of April, one day after she was reported missing. Family members have stated that the same pool was searched repeatedly, so the discovery of the body the day later in the same pool has led to some suspicion. 3 weeks ago, a post-mortem examination conducted by 3 foreign pathologists in Guyana concluded that the child died by drowning. The results of the toxicology report are still to be made known, and the police said the investigations into the child's death are ongoing. According to reports, the pathologist conducting the second autopsy will meet with the family of the girl to make the findings known to them once that autopsy is completed. The child's parents and a number of other relatives have flown to the U.S. as they continue with their quest for justice. The second post-mortem examination is expected to take place as early as tomorrow.
The moment is coming. He has the ball. Will he make the shot? And he made it! Goal! This is the biggest win we've seen in ages. Feel the rush with every bet and win big. Play online at www.ibetgamesur.com.
With iBet Supreme, every game is your game. iBet to win with iBet Supreme.
Must be 18 years and older to bet.
The Ministry of Education wishes to announce that the Because We Care cash grant and the Uniform and School Supplies grant will begin distribution from May 12, 2025. Please note, however, that distribution will begin later in May and in some cases June for certain regions. Therefore, we encourage all parents and guardians to consult the published distribution schedule to confirm when their grant will be available.
So, what's been given this year?
The grant has been increased to $55,000 per child. This includes $50,000 for the Because We Care cash grant and $5,000 for the Uniform and School Supplies grant.
Who qualifies for this grant?
All public and private school learners from nursery year 1 to grade 10 who are registered and attending school are eligible. In grade 11, only students who will register for CAPE grade 12 in September qualify, along with current grade 12 students who will be continuing to grade 13. For children entering nursery this year, they must have been registered by March 28, 2025.
How do I collect the grant?
The parent or assigned guardian of the child can uplift the grant at the child's school. Just make sure to bring a valid form of ID, your national ID card, passport, or driver's license.
What if I don't have any of those IDs?
No worries, your identity can be verified by a senior official in your community, such as the school's principal or village tusho.
Suppose I can't go myself to collect it. What then?
You can authorize someone else to collect the grant on your behalf.
What happens if I miss the date?
If you miss the scheduled date at your school, a later collection date will be announced, but this will only happen after the national distribution is completed, so it's best to collect it as scheduled if possible. Got more questions? Check the Ministry of Education's social media pages or contact your child's school for more information. In service to you, because we care.
Buster presenting the new 500 milliliter. Wow, Buster flavorful. Make every meal better. Grab a Buster for drink, Buster move. Taste this. 500 ml, that's it. Buster for this, that's cool. Buster 500 milliliter is a brand new choice of my drink with my food. Vibing every munch, that's smooth. Introducing the new Buster 500 milliliter. Grab a bottle with your lunch today.
Guyana's economy is rapidly transforming, and we're all part of it. GuyOil is at the forefront of this development by providing reliable and efficient energy and supporting community development from the very core. 100% of GuyOil's profit goes back to building schools, roads, and other important infrastructure that connects our cities and towns, providing fuel to domestic, marine, industrial, and aerial transportation. GuyOil has now repositioned itself as a market leader in the petroleum industry, building a better future for all of us.
With your regional and international news tonight, I am Svetlana Marshall. In the region, Venezuela's ruling party is celebrating what it has described as an overwhelming victory in regional and parliamentary elections, which were boycotted by the majority of opposition parties, according to the BBC. The Electoral Council, CNE, which is dominated by government loyalists, said candidates for the United Socialist Party of Venezuela's PSUV, President Nicolas Maduro's party, won the race for governor in 23 states. According to the CNE, the ruling coalition also won 82.68% of the votes cast for the National Assembly, Venezuela's legislative body. Opposition leader Maria Corina Machado said turnout had been below 15%. Opposition leader Maria Corina Machado has been in hiding for months following a wave of repression after the presidential election. One day after police in Trinidad and Tobago detained a man for the disappearance of missing taxi driver Shiraz Ali, a body believed to be Ali's has been found, according to Trinidad Express. Police officers said the body was clad in clothing similar to those that Ali was last seen wearing. On Saturday, a 26-year-old man was detained in connection with the disappearance of Ali. The suspect of Quarry Road was detained after he and his mother went to the police station to speak to the police about the case. The search for missing Ali, 64, who was last seen on May 19, continued over the weekend. And finally tonight, international news. King Charles speaking during a brief symbolic visit to show support for Canada at a time it has faced annexation threats from U.S. President Donald Trump, on Tuesday expressed his love for the country, which he described as strong and free. Reuters in a report said Charles, Canada's head of state, is the first British monarch in almost 70 years to preside over the opening of the Canadian Parliament. In a speech in the Senate, Charles said he loves Canada, but did not mention Trump, who has imposed tariffs on Canadian exports and muses about turning Canada into the 51st U.S. state. The true north is indeed strong and free, Charles said, referring to Canada's national anthem. The speech outlining the government's plans was largely written by officials working for Prime Minister Mark Carney, but Charles was responsible for the comments about Canada. The 76-year-old king, who is undergoing cancer treatment, later left Canada after a visit that barely lasted 24 hours. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Svetlana Marshall, wishing you a pleasant evening.